Akashvani. Now you will listen to a special discussion program on World Audiovisual and Entertainment Summit WAVES 2025.
Welcome to an exclusive interview program on World Audio Visual Entertainment Summit WAVES 2025. Today we have with us Sri Rajendra Chowdhury, a senior Indian Information Service officer and Additional Director General Press Information Bureau and Central Bureau of Communication for the state of Andhra Pradesh. Sir is also holding additional charge as Press Registrar General for the state of Andhra Pradesh. Welcome, sir.
Thanks.
Listeners, today we will discuss about WAVES Summit 2025. WAVES is a premier global event that brings together the entire media and entertainment sector. It aims to connect domestic audience to the global market and global media and entertainment sectors with Indian market. The WAVES Summit is scheduled to be held at Geo World Center in Mumbai from May 1st to the 4th. Sir, what is the central idea of WAVES Summit? Help us understand the ideation that went into conceptualizing this summit.
I think the first and foremost thing is that India is one of the world's largest and perhaps most diversified content producers. While as part of this WAVES we would like to entertain, but the fact is that the industry has embraced diversity and it continues to innovate. So when you talk about movies or any kind of content across platforms, news, sports, OTT, Indian content has really been wonderful. It has left an incredible mark, and particularly after the advent of OTTs with around 130 countries where we have access, globally distributed OTT platforms are becoming a game changer for India. And India can become a high quality and cost efficient content creation hub for the world. Let us recollect the early 90s when we became the world leaders in terms of intellectual capacity in IT. I think the same scenario exists today to become the world's content creator when it comes to media and entertainment sector. And this sector is already worth $2.3 trillion worldwide. And surely India can have a big role to play in the times to come. That is why the Government of India and Ministry of Information Broadcasting primarily conceptualized this WAVES Summit in Mumbai from 1st to 4th May. And whether you are an industry professional, you are an investor, you are a creator, you are an innovator, this summit offers the ultimate global platform to connect, collaborate, innovate and contribute. And most importantly, there is going to be WAVES Bazaar. So you can directly purchase content, you can directly sell your content. So I must say that it is a wonderful initiative. This will certainly propel India to be on the hub of global content creation, a great opportunity for our youngsters.
Yes, sir. Sir, what are the various events that are lined up during this 5-day event?
I think when we talk about the events, first let us understand this Create in India challenge. It was a wonderful thing. 32 challenges that ran across for the past several months. And finally what we had around 85,000 registrations. We had 1,100 international participants. We have 750 finalists now out of these 32 contests, and they will be participating in Mumbai from 1st to 4th May as part of this WAVES Creatosphere. And when we are talking about these challenges, these were really new kind of high-tech challenges. You talk about high energy reel making competition. We talk about truth tell hackathons. Then we had the Visionary Young Filmmakers Challenge, Imaginative Comics Creator Championship. So CIC offered a unique opportunity for creators to showcase their skills. And interesting part is that when you find in terms of gaming and sports, you'll find a 16-year-old youngster could be earning millions by creating games. Just think of it. India is a young country, one of the most youngest countries in the world with a median age of just around 34. And we have 2/3 of population below the age of 35.
Yes.
So this kind of a media and entertainment summit in India will showcase us on the global platform, and more importantly, it will give a wonderful opportunity to our youngsters to really do something great as part of this entire WAVES Summit.
Sir, I think as you mentioned, youngsters who are still in their school or in the college, when they are being mobilized, I think it will be a very big event.
Yes, that is the beauty of this WAVES Summit, that it is basically youngster centric. Let us begin with that. There were a number of competitions where you could find that the age group was 12 to 19, 15 to 22.
Yes.
So obviously, and that is the age when you need to be most creative. And let us also understand the fact that with the advent of artificial intelligence, robotics, machine learning, we have to now graduate upwards. Now no more knowledge acquisition is hardly a challenge now. Your mobile is the biggest knowledge hub in a sense. Now the next step is how creatively you can use that knowledge that is available with you. So till now, the world over, the focus was on acquisition of knowledge. I think from now on, the focus will be on how to use that knowledge into bigger things. And I think Wave Summit is going to give us that kind of a platform.
Sir, how will this WAVES Summit benefit the domestic audiovisual industry, especially the budding new talent in the country?
Ministry of I&B has estimated that when we talk about the kind of employment generation, if successfully executed, this program itself can create 2 to 3 lakh jobs immediately. When I talk
Yes.
about immediately, in the coming years, then it is a significant milestone to integrate with our Prime Minister's visionary call for design in India, design for the world, as he articulated during his 78th Independence Day address. So when you say design in India, obviously WAVES is the kind of summit that gives you that kind of a platform. And you design for the world. Like, again, I repeat that intellectual capability in terms of information technology, in terms of medicine, in terms of doctors. Our doctors and engineers, particularly IT engineers, have made a name for themselves world over. We are now known to be one of the most intellectually capital countries of the world. And this WAVE Summit gives you that intellectual inclination to go and create something out of the world. AI has started to emerge. So our youngsters, the domestic audio video industry, they can become the content creator, they can sell the content. And one very important aspect that often we miss out, we only talk about business, we are talking about job generation. Let us talk about the integration of cultures. If I am creating a game which is presently popular in Japan, somewhere I am gelling with the Japanese culture. I am bringing it to the Indian people. And similarly, when I talk about Mahabharata in some wonderfully designed kind of a comic game or any kind of artificial intelligence designed kind of a OTT platform, I am taking my superheroes in my mythology to the world over thing.
Yes.
So this is going to be one of the most beneficial aspects of something like Waves, where we integrate culturally throughout the world. All the different, I would say, cultures will come to know each other in a better way because they will be communicating through a medium which our youngsters actually understand much more easier.
So not only the domestic, sir, I think the audiovisual entertainment industry across the world also will benefit from this.
Certainly. In fact, as I just started by saying that India is a very young country, and relatively the developed countries which have been in the forefront of research and innovation for the past several decades, they are now an aging population, more or less. Like Japan is median age of 47, Europe could be 46, America is 44, and we are just 34. Which clearly brings you to the fact that they need our intellectual capabilities to further their interest. And that is why when we talk about Waves Anime and Mega Contest Nagpur, it really gave you that manga, Japanese style comics, webtoon, digital comics, anime, Japanese style animation, voice acting showdown and cosplay competition. Wonderful initiatives that otherwise our youngsters may not have had access to had we not created this kind of Create in India challenges.
Sir, and animation has also been a thrust area in the WAVES Summit. Can this summit help Indian creators make it big in the animation sector?
Certainly. In fact, when I talk about animation, just recall of the latest film RRR, or many people might also like to recall Bahubali. The kind of content we were able to create, the kind of visualization we were able to make, that showcased our capabilities. RRR is a wonderful visual spectacle.
Yes.
When you used to see those Marvel kind of films emanating from Hollywood, then you always used to marvel at the kind of animation they did. Now RRR told the world that we are capable of doing the same thing. In fact, the interesting part was that even when Hollywood was creating the content and showcasing it to the world by using their superheroes, using the Marvel kind of films, it was Indian animators which were at the back end.
Yes, sir.
And now Indian animators, I think, are going to become at the front end. The world will know that this content has been created using animation in India. And I just talked about something like manga, webtoon, voice acting. These are wonderful things.
Sir, VFX and animation, they're helping take ultra local stories. For example, be it Bahubali or RRR, they are hyper local stories like relating to some tribal communities or Indian freedom fighters. But with these effects like VFX and animation, they're able to take our local stories to a global stage and make it big and win awards too.
Exactly. That is the point. And you very rightly seconded it by what I said, fusion of cultures using technology. That is a wonderful thing to work on. And waves, like this is a side effect actually. We talked about business, we talked about Waves Bazaar, we talked about intellectual capitals of the world in terms of the content creation coming together in the same platform. But the biggest and the most beautiful effect will be that the cultures across the world will know each other better. And that is, I think, is going to be one of the beauties of Waves.
Yes, I think after this Waves Summit, there'll be a lot of collaborations also, sir.
Certainly. In fact, when we talk about the Create in India Challenge series, already we have 32 challenges, and from there we were able to find out professionals who were experts. For example, when we talked about Truth Tell Hackathon contest, we found that there were teams not only from India but from across the world participating in that. We found that there were 1100 registrations from across the world. And now our government has taken a wonderful initiative by inviting many countries to participate.
Yes, sir.
So there we will have an international connect. And similarly, when we talk about the Waves Bazaar, that is going to be one of the very primary components of Wave Summit, then you will find that global distributors, global OTT platforms, festival program, they will all be showcasing content at the same platform. So just think of it, Indian filmmaker, like if you have somebody like Mr. Christopher Nolan, just see the kind of inspiration you get. And other way around, creator of Bahubali sitting with someone from Hollywood,
Yes,
and when the two together talk to each other and they create something, you can imagine the kind of content we are going to create in times to come, and India will certainly be at the forefront of that content creation.
Apart from the audiovisual industry, a lot of special importance, as you earlier said, is given to gaming and comics. Can you help us understand, sir, how important these sectors are?
Again, let us first start by a general middle class comment these days. My child is sitting too much of time on the mobile. Now let us convert him into not being just a games user but into a games creator. You create for the world, because it is not just you. The entire world is like almost progressing in the same way. You go to developed world, you go to third world countries, you go to South Africa, you'll find that the teenagers of today are hooked to the gaming platforms. So instead of just becoming consumers of those gaming platforms, let us become the content creators of that gaming platform. In fact, we had a game developer conference in San Francisco. So there we had gaming giants like Nazara and Winjo, and they were showcasing top innovators as part of the gaming. In the Waves Bazaar, our sellers will be able to upload their profile, give their profiles to the prospective buyers. And that way, I think both the comic creator championship as part of Waves and the gaming championship as part of Waves, that is going to give lot of, I would say, potential platform to our youngsters with those kind of creative abilities to be able to create games for the world.
Sir, as you have earlier said, lot of buzz is being generated about challenges that are part of this summit. The most popular ones are Create in India Challenge and also Make the World Wear Khadi Challenge. Sir, how has been the response?
I would say this is one of the biggest achievements of the WAVE Summit, that we had more than 85,000 registrations. That included more than 1100 international participations. We have 750 finalists spanning across 32 diverse challenges. They will be coming together in the WAVE Summit from 1st to 4th May. And when we talk about CIC, Create in India Challenge, we find that people showcased events through AI Avatar Creator Challenge. We had animation challenge, we have esports tournament, trailer making competition, theme music competition, extended reality creation hackathon. So these were all cutting edge technologies which are developing, and when these technologies are developing and I am giving such a wonderful platform to my young brains, I think they will have a big platform. And that way, another good part is that we have taken the lead. So while the world is debating, we have already started in a headway. And in the fiercely competitive world of today, which is more or less globalized, whoever takes the lead, he commands the respect. We took the lead in IT in early 80s, early 90s. We became almost the world leaders in terms of software creation. I think the same thing we are going to do in terms of content creation for the media and entertainment sector. And the Waves, again, I will repeat, is going to be the game changer.
Sir, and Prime Minister has called on the youth of the country to take advantage of various activities that are going on with related to this summit. How can the normal college going student or someone who has graduated take advantage or be a part of this summit?
I think our Prime Minister Saab has been very, very vocal in ensuring that youngsters are given the kind of opportunities that they deserve. And we cannot just be sitting and looking at the changes happening across. We have to go and take a leadership in those changes. AI is one of the big game changers. And with AI, your gaming, your animation, your reel making, film making, poster competition, you name any field, it is going to undergo a massive change. And interesting part is, and we all know that it is youngsters who adopt to technology much faster than people maybe who are like born in 70s or 80s. So youngsters who are millennium kids, they're getting a wonderful opportunity, and that is what our Prime Minister has tried to address by giving them a very wonderful platform. And let us not forget that we are one of the countries that has the maximum number of people in the graduation level, the undergraduation level at the 10th class. So it is not necessary for us to be just creating graduates in arts, science. Time has come for creating skilled manpower in content creation, which does not really need a very theoretical kind of thing. You need not be a graduate. You could be just a 10th pass out, but you could have excellent skills in gaming. You could have excellent skills in making comics. You could have excellent skills in making posters. We know that every day in India around 80 million reels are uploaded. Now that is a consumption. Let us become a producer. Like consumption in the sense that we are spoiling our creative time in consuming that content. But if we become creator in terms of creating for the world, then we become, I would say, masters of that art. And once you become masters of that art, money flows, career flows. Your career becomes very highly skilled in that field. And I think that is what we are aiming at.
Sir, as you rightly said, in this creative field, there is no minimum qualification or essential criteria that is required. Anybody can become a part of this.
Certainly. And let us digressing a bit from this conversation. I would say that when we are talking about careers for youngsters, let us not forget the fact that visualizing the future gives you the best careers. I'll give you my growing up example. Like there used to be STD phone booths, but they disappeared overnight when mobiles came. So technology can sometimes create so vast challenges in terms of job creation. So our youngsters have to be told what is going to be the scenario 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. For example, a villager in Haryana continues to think that only the defense is going to be my target, then he may not have the best of careers, because ultimately defense is going to be technologically enabled.
Yes, sir.
10 years down the line, there could be a time where robots could be fighting wars, where we could be sitting in a war room which is AI enabled, which is technological driven, and we are fighting wars through pilot drones. So who is going to do all this thing? It is going to be projections, it is going to be artificial intelligence, it is going to be pure artificial intelligence coupled with technology. And I cannot just continue to with the same kind of education system that yes, you run for 4 kilometers and you will get qualified.
Yes.
No, you may need to have a lot of people who have skills in conceptualizing. Even warfare is going to be conceptualized.
Yes,
in that sense. And we have already seen some examples in the Ukraine kind of a thing, how drones are hitting at different cities. It is not the people banned drones, it is just like pilotless drones. So taking that conversation forward, I think our youngsters should now focus on content creation. That is going to be one of the biggest fields. They should focus on, I would say, organic farming. They should focus on green energy. That is going to be the future for the world. They should focus on environmental conservation, and they should focus on holistic healthcare, where India can have the leadership. Our
Yes,
kind of yoga, our kind of Ayurveda. So I'm digress from the waves, but why I'm coupling it is that waves is part of the same scenario.
Yes, sir.
Where waves gives you a career which is future oriented, which will be the great career within 5 years.
Sir, at par with the Hollywood movies, Indian movies of late have been doing really well across the globe. So does this summit signal that India is now a major in this sector?
Certainly. I think we earlier talked about RRR. It was done 100% in India using a complex classic mix of entertainment and technology. And that is the new world. And that is where Indian movies have started doing well across the globe, and it is a huge market. And when we talk about Indian movies, the latest reality seems to be that it is not just going to be the big screen. The big screens themselves are going to be like innovating in a big way, where you could have 3D projections, where you could be sitting in simulated cinema halls, where if you are showing a forest scene, somebody will find a lion walking just around you.
Yes, sir.
So with that kind of virtual reality scenario emerging, filmmaking itself is going to undergo a drastic change.
Yes, sir.
And with that, there is another challenge, which again also creates a lot of field for employment creation. Finding out what is real and what is fake is going to be another big challenge.
Yes, sir.
Now you have already started seeing reels, I would say on Insta. I've seen myself, where you suddenly find that it does not appear to be real, and you find it is fake. And more AI develops, the distinction between real and fake will become very, very difficult to find out, and that could be a problematic area also.
Yes, sir.
People could be like using your faces with all kinds of cyber crimes. So somewhere this content creation also gives you a, I would say, background specialization to identify between fake and genuine, because only when you are able to master the content, you know how the content can be manipulated and how the fake can be created.
Yes.
So as you always say that the best of IT engineers can be the best of hackers also. So same is about content creation. In times to come, you have to differentiate between the real content and the fake content.
Yes, sir.
And there also, I would say, this kind of a expertise will give us headway.
Sir, what is the role played by Ministry of Information Broadcasting in making India a global giant in this sector, especially the audiovisual industry?
I would say this entire WAVE Summit conceptualized by Ministry of INB. This is one of the biggest, I would say, initiatives taken here. And this whole concept started from, we have International Film Festival in Goa, and there our Honorable Minister talked about that along with IFFI, let us start the WAVES. Because while IFFI helps you in showcasing the output, IFFI is basically output. What you're looking at is already been created. Now let us become a leader in input. Ultimately, IFFI showcases cinema, and if we are able to create cinema at our home, in our studios, and when I talk about cinema, it is so many different fields are there. In fact, let me also clarify here, and let me bring it to the knowledge of my listeners also, that when we are talking about media and entertainment sector, let us also differentiate between the fact that this whole sector has become so diversified. Now it is broadcasting, it is television, it is news media, it is radio, it is animation, VFX, gaming, comics, esports, sound and music industry, digital media, apps, OTT platforms, social media platforms, generative AI, augmented reality, virtual reality, extended reality, and now we are talking about metaverse and emerging technologies. With that kind of platform coming as part of media and entertainment, let us stop thinking that media and entertainment is just about films, it is about radio. It is such a huge world, and let our youngsters get it foothold into that world. And Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, being the premier ministry to take care of this sector, I think they have taken a wonderful lead in organizing WAVES, and it is going to give us fabulous results in times to come.
Sir, will this be an annual event for the audio video entertainment industry for the world, like that of how World Economic Forum is an annual event that is conducted? Can we expect that in the future?
Yes, certainly. I think just like if it is an annual event, the target is that we will have WAVES as an annual event, because it will repeatedly give you, because as I said, content creation is again a very, very dynamic thing. The kind of content I am looking at today, 2 years down the line, the very nature might change. In fact, let us again go back to the AI thing. When you talk about development of AI, and if I were to just say in simple terms, if I am a graduate in terms of knowledge making, AI is actually maybe in just second and third class. Think of it. Sir. Think of the times when AI will graduate. Means it will become so advanced that you cannot even think of. Which means I have to continuously bring together the leaders from the world in content creation to keep on discussing what new changes have happened. Some change may have happened somewhere in a small country, but when you give them a global platform, you are able to find out. As I said, Japanese comics suddenly had become very popular in Indian youngsters because they got access through OTT platforms. And now we are creating the same content. We learned from them. Similarly, world will learn from us. As you rightly said, like even tribal art could be so beautifully converted into content and showcased to the world. It should be an annual event, certainly.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us today and helping our listeners understand various dimensions of the WAVES Summit and the impact that it will have not only on the audiovisual entertainment industry, but also for the opportunities that will open up for the youth of this country. Thank you, sir.
Thanks. It was a great opportunity. I think our youngsters should look into this area. It is going to be a wonderful area for them. It is going to be a great career for them. And more importantly, it is going to propel India into one more field where intellectually we can showcase that we are one of the best. Thank you.
On that note, we end this interview. Thank you.
Until now, you listened to a special discussion program on World Audiovisual and Entertainment Summit WAVES 2025, presented by Regional News Unit, Akashvani, Vijayawada.